The Warbird pilots fly in honor of the men and women who built the warplane. The ground crews the pilots who flew them. And when you visit the Warbird area, no hesitation to give them a road to the left. You'll see an airplane that was common by several different manufacturers. This is the Grumman manufactured Albatross. You look in the lower belly, you'll see it is capable of landing North American P-51 Fighters in California. That's the lead-in aircraft for Cal Fighters, and that was a job that Patty Wagstaff had for a number of years. Here's the
Very nice.
Going to the left, I'll remind you that the great sponsor time Eyes in the Sky, Jim Zavitz, Warbird pilot extraordinaire, author of Warbird books and articles, has done just about every Warbird there is, and the chief pilot of the Carolina Canary, a custom painted yellow. A version of the B-17 three different companies made from the C-47, both built by Douglas. That airplane that just took off was built to fly passengers in wartime. I remember right about 380 of those were built. As a section of flyers from all different categories, we'll pick out different spots around what was that originally one each dead. I'm going to let Beth Jenkins actually show me have all the flyers. I now have unmanned cockpit crews. They are Katrina Gibb, Kira Dirk. So you're asking to the girls for the latest flight orders, and the answer is yes. Right off to your left, the L-17 continues forward lane.
Yes.
Two of them are the BT-13 basic trainer World War II, powered by a rapidly 450 horsepower engine. The others are the L-17, military version of the Navions aircraft. And it's the rear part of the overhead. This is
That's one of their holding patterns. Yeah.
They all relied on one another to do jobs that augmented the other. As you look over your left shoulder now coming in, it is the passenger version, the military passenger version of the DC-3 civilian airplane and the C-47 military aircraft, of which there were about 10,000 plus manufactured and used extensively in World War II. Consider over 80 at the same time as they got ready to invade Normandy. The difference between the aircraft, twin-engine aircraft had in front of you and the cargo version. Well, they had a cargo door, and they also had a crane or a winch that helped load material from the ground. As the Albatross passes overhead, typical of solid aircraft, as well as that type of Grumman aircraft. Out into the water as a model airplane, control airplane, a weapons airplane, and a rescue airplane. The OV-10 now, on the top of the crowd, behind us, twin-tail, twin-engine turboprop, used in Vietnam as a common emergency aircraft. And I'll tell you, if we're talking about people who flew the aircraft because we had right there. We had lead time for the Hellfire, one of the agencies that tried to control fires in Southern California. They had a tanker aircraft, and to get the tanker aircraft into the fire, you have a lead in your plane. They use the OV-10 Hellfire. Fine, really way to be disastrous. So in fact, they had to increase the horsepower on the turboprop engine. Albatross behind us from the top to the southwest of our field. And off to your left, coming down the final approach, Albatross 53 cargo of the C-47. Often we did other jobs than just bring people from A to B. It was free to deliver newspapers at one time. A very important newspaper was the Stars and Stripes. They'd load them up in the seat, strap them down with safety belts, and get them out to the GIs and the sailors, so they didn't know how things were going. They relied on rumors at the time because they were out in the field. All those guys. Here's the Grumman S-2 aircraft.
Barely maybe
A little tiny dinosaur as well.
probably the only weapon.
All right, now we're going to get into the fighter action with our P-51. Let's roll to the left. When the P-51 with the Rolls-Royce Packard-built Merlin engines take off, everybody wants to hear the engine. As they proceed off to our right, you look off your left shoulder, and here comes the Albatross. Now they look ungainly, they look fast, but they were certainly efficient in all of the different models of the manufacturer. There's a story about the bigger one of these, and the OV-10 with the twin C-53 on the ground from right to left, coming in low to your left, hits the twin engine cod with the smoke on, another Grumman machine. They had that to bring up so
Oh, good hang. Very good.
Facilities in the Warbird area, you'll see them posting in person. All right, now, look close to the left as we get ready for the unmanned B-25. As you see the new airplane, that'll be the Marine Corps UBJ. Jeff Jenkins was teamed up with a Farm Award winner at the cockpit with him, and that is actually Shelby. Her and her husband.
Nate, Mig's down on the right side as well.
Here in Oscar, just a few years ago, they had a husband and wife wedding looking at. And there's one husband and wife who's walking at Belgium with what wife actually was just B-25. The new B-25 did. They lit up actually with LED lights, and they lit up the entire airplane in swing with LED lights. So they were effective as a daytime wing walking act and a nighttime wing walking act. That's what they Sabrina Kemp and Kira McGurk. In the aircraft took off, the Panchito as it's called. Panchito was a fighting rooster developed by Disney back in the era of World War II. After the World War II, they were passed through the dials and they introduced not-like fighters they had, but that was going to change. There's another unmanned cockpit crew in the blue airplane that is Beth Jenkins and herself. Barbara Warders. That's the there was a book that came out quite a number of years ago. I still don't know if I remember it. It was called F-22. They eventually made a movie out of it, and it had an all-star lineup. They shot that film south of Fort Modesto. Now along to your left, an aircraft that came to us at the wall of the USSR with its distinctive name. It is the L-39. For a worthy cause, and by the very color of that L-39 jet, you get the picture. We're doing everything we can to reduce the population and eliminate It is a great movie. It's dark humor from World War II. It is supposed to be in Corsica. That's why they shot in Mexico. The terrain kind of lends itself to that. But there were actually B-25 military pilots who had fought in the military who were proficient in the B-25 who did a great job with the first ready to have a little fun now with Tora Bomb Squad. Here comes B-25. Looks like the over the Jim Jackson brings up a good point. See, coming in tight turn, but under full controllability is the B-25 off to our left. And again, that's south of high band turn. This one will be the one with mostly machine guns used by the Marines for enemy shipping interdiction. It is hard to hit a moving target with a bomb. So the Marines get this airplane went out after shipping. And the Marine version of that is Tora Bomb. So this operating time, 2051, anchored off the armor. Now, the P-51, all of who we call the great fighters of World War II, were going to be in the dogfight arena, I'm afraid to say, obsolete in the Korean War, because it was a swept-wing dogfight war, with only one exception, and I'll point that out to you later. The jets were going to be down. not have to go to the slam. I'll tell you what, it's an airshow. That's the fun we had. And this is America. Oh, look at the assault. This is really some great flying. Coming in low and to your left. Well, let me take you back inside. After the dastardly attack on Pearl Harbor, morale in America was at an all-time low. All 80 members were told with a high probability they would not be killed. All 80 crew members volunteered. 16 B-25 left the deck of the USS Hornet on that historic day, April 18, 1942. The raid on the enemy homeland resulted in little damage. However, the Emperor and the Admiral assured their citizens they would be safe on their island. Doolittle's raid forced a change in the enemy's defensive plan and moved him further. Doolittle thought the raid was a failure and he would be court-martialed. But quite the contrary, he bypassed rank and was promoted to Brigadier General. In addition, Doolittle was presented the Medal of Honor. Now, here comes the fight.
Head on.
Anything to thwart the enemy, anything to end the war. Fast forward to April 15, 2015, at the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. The 80 Raiders received the President of America. Final Raider, Dick Cole, Jimmy Doolittle's profile. Originally North American's first attempt at a fighter aircraft was mated up with an American Allison engine, a good dependable engine that didn't have So once they had the with the B-51, the wings got a chance to do what they were meant to do. They were laminar flow wings. They got the engine up to another 10,000 or more times. Now because we needed those engines so badly, we started to manufacture them in Detroit, Michigan, the arsenal of democracy at the Packard Motor Car Company. Look low to your left with the gear down, coming back after a mission. It's a lone P-51, same cover, over the top. And that red one on the landing configuration is that was an improvement. Spotted the enemy behind you, but not in speed. It actually slowed the B-51 down. When you research the raw aircraft and how many were built as Russian tanks now being controlled by America.
The same thing I did. Wow.
Even further from the 35 degree sweep, they went to 45 degrees, starting to come up modification. And then you had the afterburner, and you had a real hot one. Now, photo opportunity, low to your left. Here is the purple. During the country, supporting the fight against breast cancer. As the airplanes continue to maneuver around, World War II, like any war, was terrible. Some years ago, I was able to see it displayed in the Miami Library, Prisoner of War. I couldn't do anything but copy it down. And I want you to listen to those letters that I read and see how selfless this POW was. Over your left shoulder, coming in, another photo opportunity. By the way,
Yo, freaking. I get both of
them. Get around, but I'm feeling fine, and that's the truth. The mail will be sold, so please, you guys, the 2 minutes Christmas Day, Prisoner of War in Europe, 1943. Thank you about everybody else. And now bear in mind that think about this message during wartime.
Oh, dead center.
Just when you thought it's going to be relaxing time. Now, the Warbirds is flying for this week after all of our Warbirds planes flying. Taxiway, the Pink L-39 is the Czechoslovakian jet made popular in the U.S. and Canada after the fall of the USSR. Like a lot of the Red Star aircraft. Red Star aircraft landing left to right in front of us. That whole group, the Red Star type group, are system powered and jet powered airplanes with both China and the USSR and the Soviet flag countries. While we continue to land the airplanes, let me tell you about these great pilots and crews that bring these aircraft in. They are not paid. About the only thing that they can get out of demonstrating in front of you, supporting the EAA, and supporting the organizations that I mentioned to you, only thing that they get is a very small stipend for fuel, and only the time that they are demonstrating in the air. So this is devotion to country. This is devotion to aviation. This is devotion to the men and women, as I mentioned to you before, who built, maintained, and flew